The part everybody hates the most, but actually in the end, it really isn't that difficult. You just have you have to play with it. Okay, so you get to your back of your website to the office here, where it says Club Website Settings. You do the drop down, and down second from the bottom is Meeting Agenda Settings. And you click on that. And a little window opens up. So you want to look at some of the things. These are the global settings for your agenda, things that appear on every single agenda that you don't have to change. Do you include member photo on your meeting agenda? Kind of waste of ink on your printing out agendas. In all my clubs, we print agendas for everybody at the meeting. Everybody gets an agenda. But you don't want to be spending a lot of money on ink if you don't have to. Include role descriptions in the printed agenda. In this case, it's yes. If you're the Toastmaster, you might want to have a little description under there for your guests to see, well, what does the Toastmaster do? It says, introduces speakers and whatever they do in your club. Because every club does things a little bit differently. They're not all the same. Use 24-hour time format. No. You're not in the military and you don't live in a foreign country. Do not use the 24-hour one. It'll drive you nuts. This one should just say members. Include meeting notes on email agendas. This is a new thing. Down at the bottom of your agenda, there's a thing called meeting notes. This is a great communication tool for all of your members to communicate with all the rest of the members right on the agenda. If you're logged in as a member, you go to meetings agendas, and you go down to the bottom of the agenda for that meeting that you're looking at, and it says meeting notes. You click on the word meeting notes, and the little box underneath, there's a text box on it, becomes live, and you can type in a message. You don't have to put your name in there because that'll appear automatically. I will not be at the meeting this week. I have to take my chicken to the eye doctor. I see. And then, underneath that, it'll say update meeting notes. You must push that button. When you push the button, the message will now appear above the text box behind your name. Your name will appear in bold print, and there will be your meeting notes. Maybe you're bringing a guest to the meeting, and maybe there's special things you do for your guests prior to them coming to the meeting, and this is a good way to find out what their name is. In my clubs, we all use tent cards. We have tent card nameplates in a lot of my clubs that I belong to. And so we crank one of those out if we know the person's first name that's coming as a guest. So when they walk in the door, not only do they get a guest packet, they get a tent card with their name on it. And if they join, we already got their card. We already have their nameplate, so we don't have to worry about that. Keep it. So it'd be nice, we put down there, blah, blah, I'm bringing Mary and John to the meeting. You don't need to put their last names in there, just their first names is all necessary. And they'll be guests. Also, whoever introduces the guests at the beginning of your meeting, if it's the president or the Toastmaster, my clubs is the president, says, welcome to our guests, Mary, John. And that's about as far as we go because we let them talk at the end. And so you've got that information. That's what it's good for. Any kind of little bit of information you want to pass on to the rest of the members, because every member who goes to the agenda can scroll down to the bottom and see the meeting notes. And when we get to the part where you email this agenda, you get to also put in a message, and the agenda is attached to your message, and the meeting notes are now attached to the agenda. They never were before. They've made that a part. So we check it in our club. We send the meeting notes out with the email agendas. And the only reason why we email these out is not for the people to download their own agenda. It's just so they can see what's going on. Oh, so-and-so just signed up for Mary. Or so-and-so just did this, and they sent out a quick email like that. It's easy to do. Include, and let's see here, it says include meeting notes on printed agenda. Nah, why waste all that space and you don't need it. It's on the website, it's in the email one, it doesn't need to be on the actual printed out one. Unless you want to, you can do that, but that's just more stuff. It may cause you to have a 2-page agenda as opposed to a 1-page agenda.
That was one question.
Which is something you gotta be really careful with. Then it says include roll times on printed agenda. We like to see it down the side. When does it start, who's doing what at what time, blah, 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 blah. And it helps you to control the timing of your meeting. Pretty simple. Now we get to what's at the top of the agenda. This is the top of the agenda. It comes with welcome to our meeting, the logo, and the Toastmaster promise, or the Toastmaster mission statement, club mission statement. That's standard. We put this JPEG of our club name at the top of it because that's what they want. And everybody says, we want it there. I said, okay. More ink if you do it in color. And our agendas are in color, so that's what they want, that's what they get. So you can do whatever you want here. Once again, you have all the tools here. You got a little toolbox at the top so that you can change all this stuff. You can change what it says here. You can add stuff, delete stuff. You can bold it. You can make it larger. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so we're going to close the. We're going to go to
the changes there can only be done by the administrator.
Yeah, and I think the VPD can do this too. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of those things because I'm not them. I'd have to go get that person, have them sit down and call them and say, hey, would you do this? So you can tell me what you're looking at, you know, because I can't see it.
So just to clarify, is this something that you can actually put, it will be the agenda that you could actually have at the meeting?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And it'll print it out?
Yeah. That's
Can we see what yours looks like?
Yeah. Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to back out of this for a second. I'm going to show you what our club's agenda looks like. Meeting agendas.
All right, so we get out of there now?
Just watch mine. Stay where you are.
Oh.
This is what the agenda looks like to anybody who can see the agenda. There's the part we were just looking at before. And there's the start time for the agenda. And that's crucial. That's a new item they put in that really makes things work cool. They never used to have this here. This actually, later on, it does stuff for you that you don't really see. But it does it. So this is what this club's agenda looks like. This club starts their meeting at 6:30 sharp, and the Sergeant at Arms opens the meeting, reads the mission statement, Pledge of Allegiance, introduces the President. That takes about all of 2 minutes. So that's the time we assign to it. The President gets up, introduces the guests, says hi to them, calls on the thought of the day person, any agenda changes, and introduces the Toastmaster. Of course, there's your thought of the day person. That's the first one you can sign up for anything. You can't sign up for Sergeant at Arms or President because we already have one. So I'll show you how you do that stuff. Then there's your Toastmaster with a description and a place for them to sign up. And the reason why it says sign up here is because I happen to be logged in also as a member. If you're logged in as the administrator only, it doesn't say sign up here, it says something else. I forget exactly what terminology it uses. Yes?
So, you've got thought of the day at the beginning. We do our thought of the day at the end.
You can put it wherever you want. I'm going to show you how to do
You
that.
show us how.
You can put it wherever you want. That's another beauty of what they just did. They just recently did a giant modification, which enables you to maneuver these blocks around. Each one of these is a little block unto itself, and it enables you to move it wherever you want, and it'll automatically change the time, adjust everything for you automatically when you move it, which is really cool. Okay, so then the Toastmaster is introducing all these people, and in this particular case in our club, it says explain roles for guests. In other words, if there are no guests, we don't go through that motion explaining the role. It wastes time if you don't need to do it. And all the Toastmaster does is introduce those people. The timer is so-and-so, blah, 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 gets down here and introduces everyone down to the speech evaluator. In our club, the speech evaluator is introduced, gets up, gives the objectives of the speaker's speech, sits down, introduces the speaker, speaker speaks, then they go to the next speaker, evaluator, next speaker, and goes on through it. And when they get through, they get down to the Toastmaster then introduces the table topics master. We do table topics at the end. And then the table topics master gives it to the general evaluator the president. It saves a lot of time. I know a lot of clubs go Toastmaster, this, back to the Toastmaster, back to this, back to the Toastmaster. What a waste of time. You know how many minutes you can clip off your meeting by doing away with that?
20
And
minutes.
you can take a lot of time. And you can use that time for something else, like more table topics. Or somebody maybe has an expanded speech. What happens when somebody has a 15-minute speech? Or maybe a 30-minute speech? Do you have 2 speakers? Or you don't? Do you have table topics? Maybe not. So you're going to have to adjust your individual agendas accordingly, but you want to have a master. The key thing is you want to have a master. That's what we're going to learn how to make. Yes.
So this is accessible to any member could access this.
Any member can access this. They sign up. When they sign up, okay, here we go. I'm going to sign up. I'm logged in. That's why it says
Go
sign
all
up
the way up to the top.
there. Okay.
Okay, so
How did you get to that?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have an agenda yet.
You're gonna
You
show
don't
us.
have one. That's why you can't get to it.
Okay.
You're just looking at this one. Most of you don't have one. Some of you, I think some of you guys have one.
I know.
But the one, for those of you who don't have one, you can't look at it, you don't have one, okay? So I'm gonna sign up for Toastmaster. I come over here, I go, oh, there's no Toastmaster for this date. What date is this? Oh, this is for the 16th of August. I wanna be the Toastmaster. Click, it knows who I am. It puts my name there. It also puts my name right down here at the bottom with an X next to it. Tomorrow I find out, oh man, I gotta work that day. Can't be Toastmaster. Click. Gone, open back up for somebody else to jump in there and be the Toastmaster. It's now available again. Also, I sign up for Toastmaster, and what do I have there? A letter, an email symbol. I can send an email.
That goes to all your members?
Yep. Click on it, and oh, this is it. This one. Yeah, I think it goes to. Because I don't use this, we don't use that little particular icon. We use a different method of doing it. This usually takes too long, and I hate it, and I can't get out of it once I do it. It takes forever, because I don't use Windows Live Mail. That's not my email thing, so it's searching for it, and it's sending an email to me.
Is that
Yeah.
the default mail?
Yeah. We don't use that. I don't know anybody that does use it. I think what it is it's for someone else to email you. They can come up here and they can click on that and they can send me an email. That's all that's for. We never use it. Anyway, I'm not going to be the Toastmaster that day. So here we go down to the bottom real quick. Here's the meeting notes. I'm not going to click on it, and the reason for that is you can't undo meeting notes. If you can, I haven't figured out how to do it yet. No, once you've saved it, I don't think you can, I don't know how you can get rid of it. I haven't found a way yet. I've tried a dozen different little tricks. None of them work. Once you make a meeting note, then if you want to change, you have to go make another meeting note to amend the one you just did. So I'm not going to do that. So anyway, here's the other thing now. The club decided they wanted to have this part. You can select this or not select this to be on your agenda. We like it, where there's a drop-down box right here for the manual, the speech, and the time. Click on that, and every manual, from the CC manual through all the 15 advanced manuals, are listed here, along with each project and the time for it. Specialty speeches, sell a product, 10 to 12 minutes. If you click on that, it goes into that box.
This is a default, you and I think.
You don't make this up. No, this is already there. Okay? Then you come down here to, oh, I messed with hers. Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
I'm going to have to go back, or John's. Oh, I know what it is. It's a humorous speech. I'll fix it later. Or I'll go do it right now. Humorous. numerously speaking. I think it's this one right here. I'll put that back in there. He can change it later. He's only the president. So then he put in his title of his speech in here. And then down in this block, he hasn't filled this in yet. This is his introduction. This is what he wants the Toastmaster say about him. In my clubs, I tell everybody, if I'm the Toastmaster and you don't have an introduction, I'm making one up. You may not like what I have to say. I will do all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm a real kidder, teaser. I love to tease people and give them a hard time. You don't want me to write your introduction. I'll find something weird about your speech to go off on a tangent. So I encourage everybody to do this, and the reason for that, and then once you're done doing all of that, if you're the speaker, you come down here and you make sure you hit this update speech details. Because if you don't, and you leave the agenda without doing that, all that stuff is gone and it won't be there, so you have to go back and put it back in again.
We had a good question.
Yes?
Could you give us an example of how you might introduce someone who does not have an introduction? Just on your tongue.
Our next speaker tonight really doesn't do much. We don't know much about him. He's pretty old, been around for a long time, claims he's been in Toastmasters for 20 years or something like that, and claims that he's got a DTN, but I don't think that's true. I've never seen it. I don't know what kind of work he does. I think he lives in Tucson. I don't even know what speech he's doing. He didn't put that down either. I don't know what the title of his speech is, but I'm sure we'll probably be entertained. Please welcome Henry Noble. You know, if I really know you and I know some good dirt on you, I might just say something, you know, with a little difficult. Be careful exactly what you say. You don't want to do anything really good. But you can make stuff up. And especially if you know the person real well and you know something that you can tease them with, you might want to try it as long as it's in good taste. Okay, so make sure you update that stuff. So now here's the best part. The Toastmaster, the administrator, I think the VP of Education, and the person giving the speech are the only people that can see the introduction.
That's great.
Yes?
You're gonna teach us how to put the agenda on there?
Yes, right.
So you're just going.
I'm just covering some stuff on the agenda right now, some
Okay.
things, and then I'm going to show you how to make one.
Okay, good.
Once you're there, if you're the Toastmaster, you come to the agenda like maybe that afternoon prior to the meeting, and you say, oh, I've got two speakers, and they both have introductions. Good. Right here, next to where it says your speech introduction, is a little icon. It's a printer. If you click on that, it will print what's ever written in the speech introduction, including the manual, the time of the speech, the title of the speech, and everything, and print their introduction in print the blind can see. It comes out in huge font. It's really big. I mean, it will almost fill an entire page. It's great. And you know how I discovered it? Doing what I normally do on the computer. I sit there and I do this all the time. My cursor's just running all over the screen. I'm doing this and doing this, and then one day I went, and all of a sudden a little hand appeared. I went, wow, that means that's a hot link. That means, what happens? And I clicked it. I couldn't even see what it is. I couldn't quite make it out. And I clicked on it, and my printer went on. And out spewed this thing. Okay. So there's a typical agenda. Yours may be different, and this is how you're going to do that. You go back here into the back, into the office. You go to club website setting, you go to the drop-down window, you go to the meeting agenda settings. Now, oh, too fast? Okay.
Launch it.
Oh, you guys got out of that.
Well, you said get out of there.
No.
Well, I guess I
Don't
was still
always
be
listen to
longer.
everything.
You need longer. You said stand on your head. Okay, meeting agenda settings.
Yes. Okay, is everybody there? So we're back to this page. We looked at this a little bit before, where you can check some boxes and whatnot, and you can do the top part of your agenda. Now we want to go to the actual meeting agendas. Default meeting agenda down at the very bottom. Click on that and voila, an agenda opens up. This happens to be the default agenda for this club. This is the one you just looked at that we just had. And what happens is that this is kept in here in the file, and every time I make a new agenda, this is where it goes to. It goes back in here and grabs this format and takes it to the front and makes a new agenda with a new date. But let's say you want to change something on this agenda. So you will scroll down to whatever it is that you want to change. Okay, now I don't know exactly what you want to change. For example, somebody tell me what they want to change on this agenda that they don't like and they want it a different way.
Remove speaker number 2.
Remove what?
Speaker number 2.
Remove speaker number 2?
Yes.
Oh, removing speaker number 2 is easy. You come down to speaker number 2, and if you're going to remove speaker number 2, you're going to have to remove
Evaluator.
evaluator number 2. Okay, so I'm going to remove speaker number 2, and I'm going to have to rebuild it.
You don't have to go
I
through the
won't
whole.
save it, but
Don't go through the whole process. Just
but
go to
what
the trash
you do is you
can.
come over here and you click on the trash can over
Okay.
here, and speaker number 2 disappears,
Okay, great.
and the times are all adjusted. And then you go up here to evaluator number 2, you gotta get rid of that one too, because there's no evaluator if there's no speaker. Now, maybe that's because you'd only wanna do that if you only have one speaker every meeting, right? I mean, you want a
Well,
speaker.
say the first speaker's 40 minutes.
Well, no, that doesn't matter. You don't need to do that, because you don't wanna mess with your agenda all the time. If your club is a 2-speaker club meeting, or a 3-speaker club meeting, whatever it happens to be, I'm in a club, one club that does 3 speakers, they're an hour-and-a-half club, so they'll do 3. You want to leave that agenda alone. If nobody signs up for that stuff, no big deal. You can, we're all smart enough to adjust the time in our head, and whoever the Toastmaster is can adjust the time. You get all the people that can adjust time on during a meeting, the Toastmaster, the general evaluator, and the table topics master. They generally control the time because they know when they're supposed to start and when they're supposed to stop. If there was no second speaker and the next person in line is the table topics master, the table topics master now gets all that time that was allotted to the speaker number 2 didn't use, and just figure it out in your head. It's not that difficult.
So here's my question. Do your clubs, is there good compliance on this, that people go in and sign up for the roles and are interactive with it?
In most of my clubs, we did away with forced sign up. First of all, we're all adults. That's how we looked at it. We're all adults. We joined Toastmasters for our own personal reasons, and those reasons were to improve ourselves in some form or another. That's generally what we're doing. And therefore, I'm not going to run a kindergarten and tell you, you're giving a speech next week, you're going to be the table topics master, and you're going to do. I don't like that, and a lot of the members of my club didn't like that. So we did away with that, and we used to have a pass-around thing. We did it that way, but then when we got this new system here where we could do an agenda, everybody does it online without a problem. We don't have a real problem with it. We send out emails. I, as the administrator, send out emails every once in a while. Look at it and say, oh, hey, you need to, we're a few days away and somebody needs to take this role. Or the VP of Ed is the one that we turn them into the whip master, and you go out there and beat the members over the head. Send them a nice email and say, hey, we need somebody to do this, step up, You can make funny little emails, and that's what I normally do. Tease people and make up some funny little lines.
You're looking at what is your default agenda?
Right.
So did the original person go in and put all that in?
Yes, I built
So the
this from
first
scratch.
time
I built this from scratch, this one. And here, let's say, for example, that we want to move the table topics master, okay? Let's say that your club, and there's a club I'm in where the table topics are done before the speeches, okay? So where's before the first? Okay, here's where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it before the first evaluator. So I'm going to go down here to my table topics and watch what happens. As soon as I move into the agenda, look what happens. My cursor just changed. It changed to crossed arrows. Click on that. I just moved it up one, moved it up another one, two, moved it up here.
So where do you enter all that though in the very beginning?
Wait, I'm gonna get there, I'm just showing you how to move some stuff around. So now Table Topics is now moved up to this position here. They still have their 10 minutes because it said 10 minutes over here, and it just adjusts its time.
Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, so that's why that's.
And
not-
adjusts all the rest of the times back, so it still ends at 7:30, no matter what.
What did you do to get here? To get that thing so you can drag it?
I just went to it and clicked on it. See the double crossed arrows?
Yeah.
Okay, when I left click on that, I can now move it down, 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 and put it back to where I had it before, which was right there. So you can move things around. Now, let's build a, okay. I'm gonna add a new default agenda, okay? When you initially do it, you're gonna see some built-in agendas. There's a 2-speech one, and a 1-speech one, and a 3-speech one, there's some really odd stuff. But I'm gonna add a new one. Now,
See, when I click on select another default agenda, it doesn't show anything.
right,
Because we haven't done any.
because you haven't done anything.
Okay.
But you said there was a 1-speech, 2-speech,
Yes,
Yeah.
that, okay, hold on.
okay.
I gotta find that. I gotta find that for you. Okay, let's see
It must be
here.
The plus?
Clearly.
Where in the heck? I always have a problem with this particular part here. This is always I've set so many of them up and then I got them all set up and I leave them and I go back to them again forever.
You know, it's from the create new agenda. If you scroll up.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta get out of the console.
yes, yes.
Maybe only keep
Yeah,
that.
that's what I always forget to do. It's right over here in the create new agenda thing. I always forget that that's
And
where.
then you use the little toggle to decide when you want to speech.
And then I have to go over here. Okay,
But if you've never done one before, you just put it in.
That's the
first
best
time.
way to do it.
Yeah.
That
if
little,
you've never done one before,
that's where you want to be.
Oh.
this, you go to the part that says create new agenda. The only people that can see that is the admin person. And I think
You gotta get
the
out of
VP
console.
You have to get out of the console, go back to the main page.
Create-
I always forget this. Thank you for
Yeah.
reminding me, because I don't do it that often anymore.
Yeah,
No, they're all done, I had them all done almost a year ago now, so. But when you go, you hit on create new,
Oh, there it is.
okay, and then you go over here to the little plus sign. And you click on the plus sign, and now, here's where you put in a date. Okay, I don't want that date. Okay, we'll make this date because this is Saturday. That's, the current date will always show up in this window. If you want to change it, you click on it and it opens up a calendar and you can move back and forth, up and down, all over the place. But it always opens the calendar at the date that you're in, okay? So we're on the 11th. Create from a template. Here's where the built-in templates are that come with the program. Toastmaster default, 1 page. Toastmaster default, detailed. 1 hour meeting, 2 speakers. 1 meeting, 3 speakers. 1 hour meeting, 3 speakers.
So if you have a 1.5 hour meeting,
You make up your own.
you have to start from scratch.
You have to start from scratch. I don't use any of these. I've never used any of them. I went straight to a default. I made up a
I'm
default.
not entirely sure that's true. You don't have to start from scratch. I would start with a 1 hour meeting.
Well, yeah, yes,
As
yes,
you
you
adjust
can.
the time,
Yes.
it'll grow to 1.
Yeah,
It
you
will
can do
grow. You want
that.
to-
I didn't.
Yeah, you
I
want to
didn't
start
actually do it
with-
that way. I didn't actually do it that way. I just started
You'll
playing
save
with
a lot
it.
of time. But
I
yeah,
was trying to learn how to do it. I was the second person in the world to do 2.0 agenda. The first day that came out. Took 11 hours.